It's always very important when you start off with CrystaLac Brite Tone to give it a good stir. Be careful taking the lid off in case you have any dried product on the inside of the lid that may fall off into the finish itself. It's very important to stir, not to shake. Now you can use a spoon, a paint knife, whatever you've got that's handy. We use these little spatulas, but anytime you're getting ready to use your Brite Tone, give it a good stir, no shaking. Shaking will cause aeration of the product and put additional bubbles into it. As you can see here, there's no bubbles in the Brite Tone whatsoever. A 20-30 second stir and you're ready to go. When using Brite Tone, it is a brushable or sprayable product straight out of the can. You don't need to reduce it or do anything to it. One thing I always like to do before I start a demonstration or start showing you Brite Tone is put a coat of Brite Tone on these little drawdown cards here. It's always very important to not over apply pressure when applying Brite Tone or any of our CrystaLac company products. Now I'm just going to put some swirl marks in there. You can see what we're looking at and just set this aside for now. When applying Brite Tone, you can use chip brushes, bristle brushes, pretty much any kind of spray equipment. I personally have gotten accustomed to using foam brushes. Again, the key with a foam brush, some people like to dampen it a little bit prior to use. Not necessary, but the key to using a foam brush is not to overwork or press too hard. If your brush is bending like this in application, you're applying way too much pressure and you're essentially acting as a snowplow, pressing the product to the side. So just allow the weight of the brush to pull the product, forming a thin coat, about 2 sheets of paper thick, across the entire surface. After you start your application, don't worry about it if a few minutes later you look and you see and you've missed a little spot or something. Don't go back and touch it, because Brite Tone, being a water-based product, will start to tack up really quickly, and by touching it again during that drying process, you're going to leave marks and lines in it. So here's the simplest, easiest way to apply Brite Tone, especially using a foam brush. Let it soak up a little bit, get a little bit of product into it, then dip and drip. It's a habit we all have. I still fight it myself. We want to dip and wipe it on the side of the container. When you do that, you force air into the brush, whether it's a bristle brush or a foam brush, and you don't want to transfer air to your project. It comes out as bubbles. So dip, drip, let it drain for just a second, little twirl. Then what I usually do is start about 3/4 of the way and just start lightly applying, just like this. Go back, get a little more product. You do want to move quickly because, like I said, this will start to dry very fast. It's very important to have your temperature around 68 degrees. Humidity is not a big problem because with the thin coats, it'll help dry in pretty much any humidity. You do want to consider very low humidity, making the product dry so quickly that it doesn't have an opportunity to level out. So just experiment in your particular climate, in your particular environment, and see how it's going to work best for you. No bubbles, just a few little micro bubbles, and I'm done. We don't want to retouch this. We don't want to do anything to it. Drop your brush in some water. You can rinse that out later, but meantime, you remember the S shape that we put into that? It's nearly all gone. I don't know if you can see that now. A few more bubbles still need to pop, but those will pop out as it dries, and the S is completely gone. Super clear, super durable, and you're going to get years of dependability out of this product.